Hi everyone, Rabbi Eve here with another installment of What the Heck is This Holiday? We are getting ready to celebrate the holiday of Hanukkah. That holiday begins on the 25th day of the month of Kislev. Hanukkah itself means dedication because the holiday is about the rededication of our temple. Here's the story. About 2,300 years ago, Alexander the Great brought Greek culture to the region where the Jews were living in Israel. He brought gymnasiums and farming and aesthetics and shopping and basically the Greek version of the mall at the time. Now, a lot of the Jews, mostly the young ones, were really excited about this, and they found a way to have their Judaism and their Greek culture at the same time. There was one group, the Hasidim, who didn't want anything to do with Greek culture, so they went on living their own Jewish-filled life. As happens with most kings, Alexander the Great died. A new king came to power, King Antiochus. And Antiochus didn't want anyone to worship anybody else. He only wanted Greek culture and only wanted to be the one that was worshipped. Well, this created a problem. The Hasidim weren't going to do that because as Jews we don't bow down or worship other people.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
And the ones who were exploring Greek culture weren't ready to give up all of their Jewish culture in exchange. Of course, a war ensued. The Hasidim don't believe in fighting, so they weren't going to fight for their right, but there was a small group who became known as the Maccabees, who under Matisyahu, not the rapper, different guy, decided they were going to fight for religious freedom and what they believed in. A battle ensued, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem was destroyed. Ultimately, the Jews, won. They had to rededicate the temple, and the way to do that was to light the candelabra, the menorah, with this special anointing oil. Of course, during the war, things got knocked over, and there was only one small jar of oil left. The tradition tells us that that oil lasted for 8 days, and thus we have the miracle section of Hanukkah. The other piece that's important to note, though, is that Hanukkah is actually also 8 days long, because while they were fighting, they missed the fall holiday of Sukkot. So 8 days for the miracle of the oil, but also because we wanted to make up for the holiday that was missed before. So that's the background story for Hanukkah itself. Now we have to get to the ritual. The oil plays a huge part in the ritual because we get to do my favorite thing, eat fried foods. We eat latkes, or some people call them latkes, fried potato pancakes. They are so good. We eat sufganiyot, which are jelly donuts, or just regular donuts, fried in amazing amounts of oil. Basically, take your favorite food, fry it in oil, you're eating Hanukkah food. It's amazing. It's an awesome part of Hanukkah. Next are the toys we play with. We have these great spinning tops called a dreidel. On each side is a letter, Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin, which stands for the statement, a great miracle happened there. It reminds us about the miracle as we play. There's a game with money involved. It can get pretty high stakes. Those pennies go pretty far. And when you play in times of religious persecution, the dreidel was one way that Jews continued to tell their story without making it seem that they were doing a ritual. That's our dreidel game. Now, the essential element, the ritual object of the Hanukkah is the Chanukiah. Now, you might say a menorah, and it's true a Chanukiah is a menorah because that's just the word that we use for lamp, but what makes this one special is that there are 8 branches plus 1 for the shamus. The shamus is the working guy. He lights all the others. When you're lighting the Chanukiah, you put the candles in from right to left when you're facing it, so the end is always the newest day, and you light them from newest to oldest. That comes from the tradition of Hillel and Shammai, these two great rabbis. Shammai said that you're supposed to go down 1 each day, so you'd start with 8 and end on 1. Hillel said no, we raise up ourselves in holiness, and so you can only add to the holiness of the holiday. So each night we add 1 candle to add to the joy that we have for the holiday. There are blessings that we say. One is the blessing for Hanukkah. The next one that we say every night is the blessing over this miracle that happened. And the third blessing is only on the first night, and that's the Shachianu, saying how incredible it is that we've arrived at this day. Now, after you've lit your Chanukiah, many people put them in a window for the idea of Pirsumi Nisa, to really publicize this great miracle that happened. There's one last piece that I wanted to address, which is the idea of presents. You'll notice it wasn't a part of the story. Nobody gave presents to anybody. The idea, the real point of Hanukkah is to celebrate this notion of the miracle of the few reigning over the many. That religious persecution and intolerance may exist, but if you're true to yourself and true to your beliefs, that's the greater miracle in our world. And that's when we add light to the darkness of our world. So people may give presents, but it's not the essence of the holiday. Now, as always, we have a special greeting. For Hanukkah, you could say Chag Urim Sameach, which means a happy festival of light. Or you could simply go with Chag Hanukkah Sameach. Have a happy, happy Hanukkah. I hope you'll enjoy, and may this year be a year that sheds abundance of light to your family. Chag Urim Sameach.